Okay. Okay. Listen to that a little bit more. They don't make music like that no more. How y'all doing out there? Let that play for a little bit, you know what I mean? And y'all, that's my cousin John right there. You know. Let y'all hear that a little bit. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to, the new podcast. My podcast, Gates Open Water Group. That's what we're gonna do. So yeah, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all already know the deal. I know this isn't your first time to YouTube, but so basically what we're gonna do today, we're gonna start out with analyzing the analyzers, or basically breaking down the narrative that some of these talk shows try to push. The narratives that they try to make. Anyway, so we're gonna start here with Undisputed, Skip and Shannon. Look like they're talking about Russell Westbrook was benched for the Lakers in OT in the win versus the Knicks. The Knicks, my bad. So we're gonna listen to a little bit of this, then I'm gonna chime in, and y'all just comment, see what y'all think. I know I get a lot of guys out there that don't agree with me, but hey, that's all right. That's why we're here. All right, here we go.
Now, Skip, they asked him after the game. Yeah, he said, I was disappointed, but all I care about is winning. Mm-hmm. So if I'm Frank Vogel and if I'm the front office of the Lakers, I'm saying, bro, you told me all you care about is winning. I think our best chance for us winning is you coming off the bench.
Thank you.
That's what I was telling him. So you care about winning, right? That's what you said. The problem that I have with him, Skip, is that he never want to accept any responsibility for his poor play. Mm-hmm. The first thing he said is that.
First, I'm going to stop it there. Of course, Russell Westbrook wants to win. What player doesn't want to win? Why you think one reason he went to LA and wanted to go play with Bron? Trying to get him a chip, everywhere Bron's went. Not everywhere, but anyway. He just taking it out of context. When he said he just wants to win, this man don't want to be benched. Russell ain't coming off no bench. Not if he can help it. I mean, he may have to end up doing that this year, but at the end of the day, he really doesn't want to come off the bench. Let's be real. I don't even know why Shannon put that out there like that and Skip, but he co-signed it. But that's not. I mean, we talking about one of the top 75 players of all time, a guy who has averaged a triple-double in, I believe, the last three of the last 4 seasons. Now you want him to come off the bench. The thing about it is, when LeBron them got him, if you go back and look at some clips in the bubble, there's a game where they were, I believe he was with the Rockets at the time, but Russell Westbrook, they played 10 feet off of Russell Westbrook, daring him to shoot the 3. Now, things have come out to say LeBron and AD co-sign them get the Lakers getting Westbrook over Buddy Hield and anybody else. So they have to go through it with him. And it's not all on Russ, what's actually happening with this team. But I'm gonna let them talk a little bit more before I chime back in.
Everybody else miss shots. I'm allowed to miss. Bro, ain't nobody asked you about that. When you was getting triple doubles, you never said everybody else getting triple doubles.
Mm-hmm. Another thing on that point, right quick. Yes, Russ just says what everybody thinks. What player hasn't thought that, I'm gonna miss shots just like everybody else? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Russ should be shooting the ball the way he does. And I've always said the reason he and KD they lasted as long as they did and played as well together as they did is simply because KD is an efficient player. And that's the biggest thing. KD didn't need as many shots, so he didn't have to throw Russ under the bus. Obviously he left, so he understood he couldn't win with Russ. But at the end of the day, he knew he was gonna have to get out of there to get him a chip. Now, in my opinion, he shouldn't have left. He shouldn't have left the Warriors. But hey, that's another story for another day. But hold on, let's finish playing this.
But it's like, it's always, well, everybody else missed shot. Bro, you playing bad. You're playing terrible. And what's on top of that, you're not playing any defense. Skip, at least if the man giving you 38 and 38-point triple doubles, 40-point triple doubles, 50-point triple doubles, you make it look, bro.
See, and that's what I'm talking about when I say they trying to create their own narrative. That's exactly what Bron been doing. LeBron James, I went back and looked at it from the beginning of December. I could have went through the whole year, but back through the beginning of December all the way till towards the end of January, LeBron had the worst plus minus on the team, worse than Russell Westbrook. And who has been getting all these points? So that's a false narrative because LeBron has been getting the triple doubles, almost triple doubles, averaging 30-something points a game, but he ain't playing an ounce of defense. Hold up. Well, I tell you. Hold up. Here you go. Got to be more careful, boy, I tell you. Yeah, tell LeBron this here.
Shots fired!
Tell your boy this.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
You know what I mean? Oh, my God. I'm always first. I'm never next. But anyway, just a little fun there. But LeBron don't play an ounce of defense. A few years ago when Kuzma was on the team, he had to actually push the man out there to play some defense. So we already know LeBron don't play D. Most of the time they play on his own. And then also this false narrative that LeBron was playing center. So he played center up until he went up against the Joker. When then they decided to start Dwight Howard. Come on, man. Y'all fall for the okie doke every single time. This man ain't playing no center. You know what I mean? Not a real center anyway. Oh, he can guard 1 through 5. No, he can't. Not the real centers. You put him back in the 90s, not to talk about the 90s, 80s, 90s stuff. He didn't have a chance against the centers. Matter of fact, even some of the power forwards, to be honest. But I mean, I'm not saying LeBron couldn't play back in that era, but I'm just saying he wouldn't have been able to play against those centers anyway. So we're gonna let this thing play.
You 1 for 10, and you're not gonna play defense. He's the one guy that's so impacted when he's not scoring. Because if he's not scoring, he's like the hell with anything else. And that rubbed me the wrong way with him. Just Kevin Durant has an off game, which isn't very often. He's like, hey, couldn't get a rhythm. Give them guys credit. They played good. They don't say, well, Kevin Durant doesn't say, well, when I was scoring 50, you never asked me about anything. When I did this, you didn't ask me about anything. That's how it's good. I'm not going to ask Skip how his drive to work was if he wasn't in an accident. That's how it works. If you're in an accident, what happened, Skip? Ain't nobody asking you how. They ask you about your play when you play bad. Because
I'm gonna speed this up a little bit.
You're supposed to play good, Russ. You were the all-star. You were an all-NBA player, a top 75 player. So you should have went home and looked in the mirror and said, you know what? I'm a top 75 player. I'm a former MVP, a multiple-time all-star, multiple-time first-team All-NBA. I became unplayable in overtime. I only played 5.5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
So you're gonna tell me Russ is unplayable? What about LeBron? LeBron turns the ball over just as much, maybe a little bit less this year than Westbrook. He doesn't shoot the free throw well. So, I mean, that narrative that they have, they want to blame everything on Russ and then also Frank Vogel. I put the blame on LeBron. He don't play any defense. Anthony Davis is in there. Since he came back, he's been playing pretty well, but before he actually went out, he wasn't playing well at all. Not a top 5 player in the league, not a top 10 player in the league for that fact. So stop blaming Russ. Yes, you have to put Russ in a better situation. What they need to do is stagger LeBron and Russ as best as possible. And that's how you're going to get the best play out of Russ. But everybody's not don't want to play like LeBron. Slow the. But I will say the one fault I will give Russ is he needs to slow the game down. He get the ball, he go 100 miles an hour. Now, when they put them young boys out there, they can do that. But LeBron can't run 100 miles an hour anymore. Might as well hang that up. So that's the one thing I will put on Russ. He doesn't know how to control his speed at times. When he need to push it, get the fast break going, or when he need to bring it out, set the offense, and actually play the game. So that one I will put on Russ. But other than that, they all make some bonehead plays. So I'm not even going to throw that on Russ like that. Let's see what else these guys got to say.
Damn, I must be, what's going on with me? Instead of saying, oh, everybody else plays bad, somebody else did this, somebody else did that. Point lead when he returned to the lineup.
It's in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And by the way, he was effectively benched in the fourth quarter.
Yes, he was.
Because if you look at your fourth quarter box, what do you see? I see that Trevor Ariza played all 12 minutes. I see that Taylor Horton-Tucker played more than Russ. And I see Austin Reeves played more than Russ in the fourth quarter. So
exactly. So for the game, he was minus 15. With Russ on the court, they were minus 15. With him off the court, they're plus 22. I got, Skip, I did something you did. I got a little video.
See, you see that right there? Off the court, plus 22. He doesn't do that when LeBron's playing because he'll go back and see the same exact thing I said. Yeah, he might have had I don't even know the stats of this game. What was that game again? Let me see their last game really quick. But they'll throw the plus minus up when it's in their favor. But when it's not in their favor, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. When's the last game? The last game was it Saturday? Sorry about that, folks. I got to look this up. Saturday. Yeah, they played the next one. And then 122-115 overtime win by the Lakers. Let's see. LeBron was a +8, +12 that game. Westbrook was terrible, had a minus 15. But most of the time, him and LeBron are both right there in the top of the negative of the plus minus. But see, he won't talk about that any other time. So yeah, right now he's pushing that narrative to create the narrative that even his plus minus any other time, Shannon don't want to talk about it. So anyway, let me let these boys go.
Video. I want to show people a little video. Skip, you don't already like the problem. I'll let you have a video.
Well, I have one.
I just want to show you this right here. Look at this, Skip. Look at Russ. Now he got RJ Barrett. Skip, what is that? Skip, what was that?
Well, that's what Vogel said after the game.
I got enough. Now remember earlier, do we got the other one? Look at this, Skip. Okay, that's this guy. I got it. Skip.
So obviously they're showing some bloopers, but even so, when they talked about Kwame Brown, Stephen A., I said you can make these bloopers about any player in the league at any point in time. Anybody. So yeah, Russ, okay, he had a bad game this last one, but like I keep harping on, I'm not going to blame it all on Russ. Yes, he has some fault. Don't get me wrong. But you got 3, 4, I believe, 5 first ballot Hall of Famers with Dwight Howard, which I can't blame Dwight for anything because they won't even throw him the ball, put him in the game or anything because Brown want to play center. Then you got AD is going to be a first ballot. You have Carmelo Anthony, who don't play an ounce of defense, who's going to be a first ballot. You have Russ and LeBron, obviously. You got 5 players who potentially is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and you're going to throw all the blame on Russ. Come on, man. But remember LeBron co-signed this. So, hold up. And I'm going to skip past this little part.
No, don't. How many times?
Okay, here's the play. Okay, this is Caris LeVert. We have said, don't let Caris LeVert. Here you go. He does. I'm not saying he wasn't a great player, but he's not a great player with the Lakers currently. And right now, Malik Monk is better than him.
Bing. That was it. He's not a great player with the Lakers. One, because you playing basically in the LeBron James system, and two, and this is his fault. It's the simple reason that he doesn't want to slow the pace of the game. Them boys can't run up and down that floor. Now, if he's in there with Reeves and what's his boy name, THT and Stanley Johnson and stuff like that, yeah, he can get that thing up and down the floor. But also, when you get up and down the floor, if you make or miss the shot, you got to come down to defense, which they don't play. That's the problem. One, you don't play any defense. Two, LeBron can't get up and down that floor like that. He's going to keep causing injuries by doing that. So they're going to have to get in Russ' head to slow the pace of the game down. Just being honest. Or LeBron's going to have to run the point guard and slow the pace of the game down. Hold up.
Malik Monk can finish better at the rim. He's better in the pick and roll. He's better in the dunker spot. He's a better shooter from three. He's a better mid-range shooter. He's a better free throw shooter. So, but damn, Skip, I mean, I keep going better. But how the hell is he playing at all? Yeah, you know it.
Frank Vogel after the game. I think obviously Russ.
Malik Monk. I'm taking Russ over Malik Monk all day, simply because it's kind of like when you get a wide receiver, right? You got two receivers. One receiver is getting a whole bunch of yards, whole bunch of catches every single year, but it's because he has that other receiver on the other end. Now, when he go out there and go to another team and he become that ace boom coon, what happens? A lot of times they're not who they think they are, and when they get covered up, they can't do anything. So Russ is taking a lot of that pressure, and Monk is coming in against the second and third string players. Yes, he can ball against them. But when you're trying to ball against these starters, that's not going to happen. And majority of the time you're on the court, you with who? LeBron, who like to push his own narrative and do his own thing. So honestly, most players that team up with LeBron actually get worse. And they want to push this narrative that he makes everybody better. Nope, that's not a fact. That's fiction. But anyway, we're going to keep rolling.
Was having a tough night on both sides of the ball. He said that.
Yeah, he said both. B-O-A-F, both.
Yes. And Bron was really going. This is Vogel still. So I knew the ball was going to be in Bron's hands, and I felt like.
And he said, you know what? I'd rather have him on the court than a former All-Star.
Disaster for LeBron and AD. Does not fit. Gums up the works. They have to win in spite of him. Yet both of them, foolishly after the game, fed right back into he's got to keep shooting. You know, he's got to just shoot shots in rhythm. You know, both of them said this. And I said, you're kidding.
What rhythm?
What rhythm is right, which brings us to it's time once again for almost daily Russell Westbrook blooper reel. This one featuring 9 missed shots on Saturday night. If we could roll it.
Oh my God.
Then he missed a left hand. Oh, and he said, well, I'll do it. And then it doesn't really. Russ, what do you normally make?
Yeah, exactly. Bro, you're a 43% career shooter. It's not like you make a ton of shots. So you're actually doing exactly what you've been doing your career. Missing.
From 3, he's now 30%, 30%. That rank.
Once again, boom. You've been doing exactly what you've been doing your whole career. Yes. They say LeBron has this super basketball IQ. Don't you think he's seen that? I mean, Russ been in the league since, I don't know, 2009, 10, 11, somewhere around there. He's been doing the same thing since he's been in the league. Now, when he was with KD, it was covered up a little bit more because of KD's efficiency. But and that's why I got to blame Bron and AD for co-signing this instead of going to get somebody else that can play with them. They went and got Russell Westbrook, and I can't blame them. Not only that, look at the man's salary. Good Lord. They can't even get rid of him. The only person they possibly could get would be maybe John Wall. So I predict he'll be there up until at least Russell Westbrook will be there until at least the trade deadline next season. Because next season I believe he gets $47 million. And at that point in time, it will be, let's see, half 50 is 25, so 23 million, 23.5 million, somewhere around there is what maybe a team will pick up half a season next year, possibly. I don't know, but I don't think they're getting rid of him this year unless somebody come up with some kind of super duper package that's going to work for everybody. Hold on. Got this video at, about 19, 20 minutes. Hold up.
It's 143rd of 149 from the free throw line. And we didn't even put in, he had 2 huge misses the other night down the stretch of regulation. 57.9 seconds left. He claimed 2 of them. Yeah. And they were up 4 at that point. And I think those would have been the daggers. I'm pretty sure.
And that was right after he let RJ Barrett go.
Boom. Yep. So from the free throw line, Russ is now 66.8%. That ranks 102nd of 104 qualified. Only worst free throw shooters in the league are Christian Wood and Evan Mobley. Really? So 2 centers are shooting worse free throws than you are.
Skip.
You are the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers.
They became unplayable in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Of 38 guys, have taken at least 200 shots in the restricted area.
Yep.
Russ is 37.
No surprise. How many has he missed at the rim?
Because
left and right.
Here's the thing, Skip. the reason why Tom Brady was able to play for 22 years, not only was he good, but he didn't rely on athleticism.
Yep.
Here's why Malik Monk is better, because he can do more. You put him in the pick and roll with LeBron or AD. You can dribble handoff. He can shoot the mid-range. He got the three. Put him in.
Good. Yet after the game, your man Anthony Davis said, and I quote, me and LB is in LeBron. Me and LB, we're telling him, we don't care if you miss everyone. Just play. Shoot your rhythm shots. Don't hesitate.
Sorry about that.
What are you talking about?
They rhythm.
You're going to feed that fire and the ire of the fans?
The man had 4 turnovers in 29 minutes. He had to limit him. Frankie V said our greatest chance of winning is putting Russ on the bench. Skip, here's a man that's, like you said,
4 turnovers in 29 minutes. Okay. I mean, we all know Russ is a turnover machine, just like LeBron. They're like almost the same player. One player at a faster pace than the other one, obviously, but they're almost like the same player. And at this stage in LeBron's career, I mean, I don't know what he's doing so special. He has less drives to the basket. He shoots the ball from outside more. He's getting to the foul line a lot less than he used to. So I see them as the same player almost. Not the same. I mean, I'm not trying to talk crazy, same player, but they both turn the ball over heavily. They both have a terrible plus minus on average this season. I know LeBron don't play any D, and I'm pretty sure Russ doesn't play much D, but almost anybody's going to play more than LeBron at this point.
for the last 5 years, triple-double, former MVP, multiple-time first-team All-NBA, multiple-time All-Star, one of the 75 greatest players of all time, and he became unplayable. Let that sink in a situation like you had in the other night, where it could just be him, and what he did is that all those other situations, he made us, all we focused on was the triple-double. We didn't see 8 turnovers connected to those triple-doubles.
Nope.
We didn't see the 9. We didn't see the 6. We didn't see the 4 shot selection. Now, Skip, now he's on a team that have championship aspirations, and everything, under your Lakers, everything is under a microscope.
Correct.
So you get an opportunity to, damn.
He has always prioritized starring and statting over some games.
He took Miami to Game 7. So we know what Paul George. Paul George is way more efficient, shooting the 3, mid-range, can get to the basket, can finish, a better free throw shooter. Yeah, he's a better player than Russ.
Better player.
Malik,
and he's 6'8".
Skip, at this, he has to study. He has to be instinctive to beat you to a point. Because if I don't, Skip, the guy's going to get by me. So he's having trouble finishing at the rim. Russ used to finish at the rim. Russ came like Derrick Rose. Before Derrick Rose had those injuries, how athletic he was.
Another thing about Russ, I mean, if you think about I think it was last year when he was with the Rockets, not the Rockets, Washington. He got better as the year went on. After the All-Star break, he got better. He got more comfortable. It may be a lot more difficult now because the spotlight is on him, and he's obviously playing with LeBron, AD, the Lakers, and all that good stuff right there. But I'm eager to see what's going to happen with him if some kind of way he don't get traded, benched, or whatever after the All-Star break. Because these guys are not giving my boy a fair shake. And at the end of the day, I can't put it all on him. Does he carry some of that weight? Yep. Does he carry most of that weight? Nope. Does he carry all that weight? No. If anything, it's spread between all of them. AD, LeBron, and Russ. But also in practice, are they telling him, hey, slow the ball down? You know, I don't know if Frank is doing that. I don't know if LeBron, whoever is doing that, but somebody needs to tell him to slow the ball down unless you got a clean, clear, fast break opportunity. And then you just come back out and set the offense up. So I don't know if that's coaching. I don't want to blame it all on Frank Vogel, but they're continually telling him to play instinctive, play like you always played, Russ. That's gonna get Russ sent right up out of LA. Playing like he always he got to adjust his game. Can it be done? I've seen it done a little bit when he was with the Rockets. You know, finally got Clint Capella out of there, but he didn't have the ball in his hand as much because your boy, what's his name? The bearded one, James Harden had the ball in his hand most of the time. So, that's all. If Russ just slow the game down, if he slows down, He'll be very effective. Very effective. Let's finish this thing off.
He could finish. That's what Russ was.
I agree.
Over the years, the injuries and age and attrition and playing like that style has robbed him of some of his athleticism.
Yes, he'll flash it occasionally on the offensive end,
Yes.
but not on the
Oh,
defense.
he ain't even trying to play no defense.
No.
Skip. At least try. I just want, if he just pitched RJ Barrett, so RJ's like, ow, he lost the ball out of bounds, I'd have been okay with that.
Yeah.
But you just can't, Skip, he got it. Everybody's like, okay, everybody got a man, we good. And then all of a sudden, he just turns and just opens the door.
I got to tell you, it has to be driving LeBron out of his mind.
It drives-
It just drives LeBron out of his mind. No, it drives me out of my mind, and it drives me out of mind when these guys try to make up their own narratives, because it got to drive everybody else on the team out of their mind when LeBron don't play an ounce of defense. It's the same, like it's the same thing. But what happens is, just because LeBron scored 30 and he's LeBron, they take the blame off of him and they put it on someone else. He always has to have that scapegoat. Everywhere he's winning has an scapegoat. So anyway, hold up.
Everybody crazy. To be honest with you, Skip. I mean, look, the thing that I love about LeBron ain't gonna throw anybody under the bus. Skip.
No.
He keeps saying, I told him to text
He
me.
won't throw an individual. He did that one time
Right.
when we said we're top heavy as you know what.
But he's like, I told him to text me. Get away from it.
Yeah.
Hit me. AD. Hey, me and LB told him to get out of his own head.
Yeah.
Just hey, take the shot in rhythm. You had some in rhythm because you know why he's hesitating? Because he know he playing terrible.
Yeah.
Skip, you as an athlete, you know when you playing terrible. I like to think I was an athlete at one point because it's in my head because I've been dropped.
His father loves Bronny, and do you think that influenced LeBron even a little bit to say, okay, let's go get Russ instead of Buddy Hield?
I can see why Bronny likes Russ. You know why? Because Russ was play hard.
Hard.
Bronny plays hard.
Yeah.
Bronny doesn't have the
No,
size.
he
He doesn't
doesn't.
have the athleticism of his dad.
No.
So he has to. It's the little things.
Yeah.
When you're undersized, Skip, there's certain things that you have to be able to do. You have to
Bronny is 6'3".
I think he has to do those things. Well, you see Russ, AD, everybody on the Lakers has missed time except one player. Name the player that has not missed a game. Name the one player that doesn't need a night off. Ain't had no back tightness, ain't had no knee stiffness, ain't had no crook in his neck, ain't had no upset stomach. The one guy.
By the way, that guy, Russell Westbrook, is leading the NBA in minutes played to your detriment. He's also leading the league still.
Exactly. The best of ability is availability. He's the only one been consistently playing. The only one who hasn't had time off, just like he just said. So I think the one thing to get Russ, one, they got to play defense. Two, Russ has to slow the ball down. If he can slow it down, he can be more effective, and they'll probably get more W's. So I'm gonna say Russ, keep speeding that thing up. But no, in all seriousness, that's what he needs to do. Slow it down, pimping.
In turnovers.
Yeah. Oh, why are you surprised by that?
I'm not, because he's playing so many minutes, it just goes
Yeah,
up.
they could have.
Also, lately, if you've noticed, he has had a lot less turnovers. I think the other game he had a few of them, but over the last half a month or so, Russ has had a lot less turnovers. Some games, I think he even had 0, maybe 1. So he is adapting to this play, actually trying to get better, and not try to have so many turnovers, because the turnover obviously is a killer. You just give the ball, give the team give the other team the ball. That's going to be tough to beat. But at the end of the day, Russ, let's see the second half, and then I might have more criticism of Russ, because normally he gets better through that first half.
He had 29 minutes and he still led the team in turnovers. The moment the mere fact that he's on the court, he gonna turn it over.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here.
Yeah, so that's the end of that. And this we're gonna do a lot more of these breakdowns of these videos of these analysts and see where they going. We're gonna get some more, not just undisputed. We're gonna get some first take. We're gonna get Colin Cowherd, whatever his name is. Boy, I can't think of his name right now, but we're gonna try to get them all. Then we're gonna do some reaction videos to different things like that. We got a lot in store coming. I have a lot planned for this channel, and hey man, just stay tuned. But we out. And hold up. To be more careful, boy, I tell you. What'd you say, boy? Got to be more careful, boy, I tell you.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Hold up.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired.
You know, that's the end of this thing, though. Hey, this your boy Kent. You know what I'm saying? Coach K, whatever you want to call me. We over here. Gates Open Warner Group. We trying to make things happen. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what I can do better. What kind of videos you would like to see. I'll get anything you can think of. And we're going to try to make it happen over here. This is my first one that I'm actually going to release to the public. Yeah. All right, man. We